All right, hey everybody. Today we're going to do an experiment with my friend here, and you're going to get to meet him in just a second. You should have out on your desks the workbook activity, page 67, that has to do with a snail. Today we're going to be using a slug, and that's my friend. So we're going to look at him in just a second. Okay, so this is my friend, and I have named him Norman. Norman the slug. Okay, so you should have it on your desk, workbook page 67, and we're going to be doing this activity. So, when you're ready, we're going to start with number 1. We're going to record your observation about land snails, but in this case we're using a slug. So, a slug and a snail are very similar. One has a shell and one does not. So, look at number 1, and it says, locate the tentacles or feelers on the top of the snail's head, or the slug's head. How many feelers do you find? So we're going to look real close here. I'm going to turn this so you can see him. So we see 1, 2, and if you look really close, there's a third one. All right, Norman, we need you to cooperate. Norman keeps turning his head. And there's a fourth one there. So we see 4 feelers on Norman's head. I'm going to turn it back this way and let's see if we can see all 4 of them at one time. Alright. There they are. You can see all 4 there. Okay, so you're going to write on your paper that Norman has 4 feelers. You can just write 4 feelers, or Norman has 4 feelers. Alright, now number 2 says, where did you find the eyes? Now on our paper it shows that a snail's eyes are on the ends of those 2 long feelers. So we're going to look at Norman's head here and see if we can see his eyes. If we look really close, you can see his little eyeballs are on the ends of those tentacles. Norman's looking up at us. All right. So you write on your paper where you found Norman's eyeballs. All right. Now, number 3 says, use a pencil to gently touch the tentacles. What does the snail or slug do when the tentacles are touched gently? So we're going to touch Norman's tentacles here with my pencil. All right, Norman. We need you to cooperate. He's looking all around. There we go. Oh. He's turning around. Let's see what he does. Okay, his tentacles kind of twitch. Get over here where we can see it. Touch him again. Oh, they twitch. They kind of jump. Alright, so you write down what you think happens whenever I touch Norman's tentacles. Okay? Now, number 4 says to touch the tentacles again with a little more force. Then what does he do? Alright, Norman. We're going to touch you with a little more force. Oh, looky there. You see what he did? he can actually kind of retract his tentacle there or draw it in. That's pretty awesome. See that? Alright, so now you're going to write on your paper what happens when we touch Norman's tentacles with a little more force. Alright, now, all during this experiment, Norman's been moving around. So it says to describe the way the snail moves. Okay, so you use what you think would be the best way to describe how Norman moves. Okay, now I have put Norman on this blue file folder so that we can see how he moves. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on his belly. If you notice, he kind of slides along. Alright, now, number 5 says to tap the shell of the snail. What does the snail do? Now, we don't have a snail and he doesn't have a shell, so we're going to tap his back and see what he does. See if he does anything. Norman doesn't seem to be bothered. He didn't really do anything. Alright. I don't want Norman crawling off onto my table, so. Alright, our next number 7 says, feed your snail some lettuce. Watch closely with a magnifying glass. What do you see? So I have some lettuce here. And we're going to see if Norman is hungry. Here's some lettuce. Oh. Norman, are you hungry? If I can get it down here where we can see him. I'm not sure Norman is hungry. He just seems to be crawling over the lettuce. So we're going to say Norman wasn't hungry. Now the next question says, put your snail on black paper. What does it leave behind? Now I didn't have a piece of black paper, but I did have some blue paper. And if you notice on the paper, it leaves a trail. And this trail comes off of Norman's body. You can see it right there, everywhere he's crawled. And there he is right there crawling. And he leaves a trail of slime. Now why do you think that they leave a trail of slime? Both slugs and snails both leave this trail. What do you think are some reasons why Norman leaves a slime trail? And I want you to write one of the reasons you think that might happen on your paper for number 8. Okay? Okay. The next question says to put your slug in a shoebox. Put the lid on half the box. Does the snail move away from or toward the light? So we're going to watch and see what Norman does here. Some of that blue slime, he's picked up some of the dye off of that blue file folder, so he's left some blue slime behind. So we're going to see if Norman likes the light or if he likes the darker area of the shoebox. And he's moving around. I'm going to go like this. Yeah, now he seems to be choosing the darker side. Now, why do you think that is? Now, one thing you need to know about snails and slugs is their body is very moist. They're kind of squishy. I went to try to pick him up just a minute ago, and I had to be really gentle because they're an invertebrate. They don't have a backbone, so there's not much to him, and I didn't want to hurt him. So, if you think about it, if he was out in the sunlight and he was very moist, what would happen to his body? So why do you think that he would prefer dark areas over very bright and light areas? Okay, and that's it. All we have left now is number 10 and number 11. Number 10 says, on your own paper, write a short pet store advertisement for land snails. Let's not do that one. But I do want you to do number 11 on another piece of paper. You're going to draw a picture of your snail or slug. You can choose whichever one you want. I want you to give him a name, because I named mine Norman. And I want you to label the parts of the snail or the slug, just like what's on the top of your page on workbook page 67. If you have a slug, if you choose to do a slug, the parts are just the same, except for, obviously, you're not going to put on the shell. So, I hope you've had fun with Norman, and we learned a lot about snails today and slugs. So, we'll see you in class. Bye-bye.